what happens when you fight a guy of that caliber that people don't know about, and what is the real repercussion when you don't actually know the rules of boxing, like Gervonta Davis just proved by taking the knee and not understanding that that actually is a point. But what we're going to do is break down the true matchup and what you expect when you're fighting someone of that caliber, like Lamont Roach, who understands how to fight. He trains out of DC. Tank is from Baltimore, and Baltimore is where we took all of our fighters all the time, whether we're fighting with for titles, helping out guys like Hasim Rockman in training camp, getting prepared for guys like Klitschko, or if it was just coming up there to help Klitschko get prepared for Tony Thompson back in the day for the WBC title. These are the things that I'm going to share with you when you're talking about matching up fighters when you got top tier guys, what to look out for so that you're not victimized, and you got to know the rules of boxing. Because one of the things that I always say, there's only three reasons why fighters lose fights. Number one, it's incompetence in the corner or skill. Either way, that's incompetence. Number two, lifestyle. Overeating, too big with muscle, not fighting at the right weight class, living a life, fast women. Take 1 second and pause. I got to eat my grapes and my pomegranate. And anyone who is dealing with an unclean body and you feel it, especially after a weekend like this, getting that great life, it's a natural astringent. It's like alcohol for a cut. It cleanses the body out. And the pomegranate play as an advocate to the grape. So the green or the purple. But Gervonta Davis took something from a page of a guy who thought what he was starting to believe what everybody was telling him. Mike Tyson did the same thing. He started to believe that no matter what level you go up in boxing, you're going to knock guys out. No, that's not going to happen. And here's why. Because the dexterity of a person, the fluidity of their confidence is different when you go up to level 6. You can beat all of these guys who fall out and gas out and don't have the physical stature or the chin to survive at the top level. When you get past 5, that means you stop running into guys who got heart. Guys who got heart, really, they fight for real. They really have the algorithm of a fighter. That's what you're gonna run into when you get to level 6 and on up. So it's no money that knows chumps. Those guys they look the part, but they don't have the DNA. So when we talk about tactically, the first half of the fight, Gervonta Davis was assessing things and moving left to right, right? That's what you have to do. When you're fighting against a fighter, and I'm going to explain to you how to set these guys up who have that great defensive prowess. This guy reminded me of Winky Wright. If you pull up Winky Wright versus Shane Mosley, it's going to give you some stuff that you ain't seen before. Defense, a monster jab, and understanding how to take away everything that guy wants to do. That's why I always make the statement about Tank. He doesn't knock people out with his hands. He knocks people out with his feet. It's about the setup at that level of boxing. When he stopped making adjustments to the feet and start going toe to toe, he realized not only am I not getting off like I want to, but this dude is hitting me back. This is what's going to happen at that level of boxing when you're fighting against a superior fighter. And when I say superior fighter, Lamont Roach knows how to dig down and he knows how to fight because he trains out of DC. DC, if you want smoke, that's what you're going to get. I've done 13, 14 years straight in DC from the turn of the century to the mid 2012, 2013, 2014 time frame. It ain't nothing but smoke. Coach Barry Hunter is my coach's road dog. So is Gary Russell's family. Their dad was my coach's best friend. And they grew up like, your day ones. And so when you're going up there, you're gonna find nothing but guys who love to get inside and dog pound, because that's where the original dog pound started. Over here on the East Coast, it was not Floyd. So this is what he ended up running into, a reflection of the mirror. In all actuality, Tank does not box good on the inside. He doesn't understand how to use his frame, right? Inside with a frame, you got to look at Lomachenko, who knows how to get inside, scoop inside, step over to the side, and do more body work and then work to the head. And there's nothing that Tank can't do, but he's not challenging himself to do it. And he has no one in his corner to tell him to do that when he was in that situation. Now, as I break it down, the bottom line is whenever he got to that place where he was ready to try to create separation after the 6th and 7th round, he went into the same phone booth kind of fight that you only fight in sparring, because now it's going to be hard to tell who's actually winning, because it's just give and take. And for the first time in Tank's career, outside of Cruz, somebody's giving it back to him. And that was the first sign that I don't need to be here. What I need to do is get to his chin and make sure I get his chin exposed. This is all we tell you guys when you're boxing. I don't want to be the professor to everybody. I did 4 decades in this sport. But I do want you to know and have an understanding of what's actually happening. These grapes are great. When you are in there, you have to know how to get the guy's chin in the air, right? Expose his chin. That's with faint, slow, a lot of jabs to the body, straights to the body, and understand how to get off of the line, stick them to the body. Don't even worry about the head, because when the head is exposed, that's when you can put the head to bed. But you gotta take the time to set that up, break him down to the body, take away his gas tank, and when you can do that, that's when you're gonna start having opportunity to expose him. But lo and behold, guess why he didn't do that? Because he didn't have that other voice in his ear. And therefore, that's where mentorship comes into play. The mentorship that you're seeing him under, everybody was confused to why Calvin was not in the corner. I mean, was not in the camp like he typically was. But Calvin has other people that he has to take care of. Chat, what is your analysis of that? Because I'm going to tell you what the real analysis was. Coach Calvin knows he's not being done in the manner in which he feels like his value is. That's why I always share with you trainers that you have to understand how to do business with your fighter. Because see, you were the boss in the amateurs, but now you're in the pros. He's the boss. You have to negotiate your fair money. And then it starts to create friction. And now Calvin is working with another young man, of course, other people, but another young man who he's going to groom the right way, and he's going to do a better deal with this kid when it's time for it to happen, right? One of the guys that was on the undercard, his mama reached out to me to help them with nutrition, right? And we went back and forth. I never followed through because I was super busy. We were creating our online academy back then. That was about 4 or 5 years ago. And now he's a dog. He fought on like the fight before them. It's crazy. He can fight. But having the proper mentorship, you don't get rid of people no matter how frustrating you are. That's why you don't get into arguments with guys like Floyd who know what to do when you're in a situation like that, because he's been in there in situations like that. He fought Cotto. Cotto came on in the second half of the fight. He had to overcome. Floyd fought Emmanuel Augustus, which was his toughest fight. that is experiences that he learned from his uncle and his dad how to overcome. And Tank needed to know how to overcome that situation as the fighter, talking to another fighter. And so that's what you were seeing. He was just not comfortable. And because he doesn't have Floyd by that ringside to look outside the ring and ask him, what should I do? And Floyd say, floss the jab, pull counter over the top, boom, side step, work the body step, turn the ring, and start sliding on him like in an ice skating ring. Set him up, faint low, chin check him, keep his chin exposed, and that's tapping that body, straight shots to the body. That's how Floyd pop over the top. You remember it? That's how Floyd did it. That recipe worked every time because don't nobody like it to the body. Now I'm gonna get right here to the knee. And see, this is where a lot of you guys don't understand the politics of boxing. As I said it when we were coming up, the politics. Flavor Flav's in the building. The politics of boxing is all about understanding who's working, who's the referee. And I had the referees in our favor. I can name the referees that we had that favored us because they knew us. I was working with some of the referees' kids and the judges as well in the gym. You see, y'all, that's what y'all don't see. You don't see the relationships. Now, he had to make a call, and because it wasn't something boxing related that caused him to take the knee, it was just like somebody threw an egg in the ring, and just like with Fan Man and Holyfield, you know, they 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 couldn't fairly score that round because of what actually transpired when the Fan Man came into the ring. And so this was that. This was one of those outside of the boxing realm issues that I think Steve did the right thing and not take a point because it had nothing to do with boxing why he took the knee. Now, the incompetence is where Tank doesn't know that that's the rule. Because if he knew that that was the rule, he just did what Ali had to do when he fought Sonny Liston and got that ointment in his eye. You guys remember? Who remembers when Muhammad Ali got the ointment in his eye in the 5th round against Sonny Liston and had to survive for 2 rounds against the Iron Bear, Sonny Liston? Well, that's exactly what Ali needed. I mean, that's what Tank should have done. But the fact that he didn't know you can't take a knee, and you definitely can't go choose to go over to your corner and get your face wiped, that's not even a thing. And so that's telling me already that there's a lot more incompetence in boxing. And when you see it at the highest level that way, you know that you need to really understand the rules of boxing. So make sure you got people on your team that understand the rules. Make sure you don't get rid of great mentorship, regardless of sticky situations that you may have going on personally between Floyd and guys like Tank. Screw that. When it comes to fight night, at this level, you need all of the weapons in your corner that you need. You need them present. And that's one of the things that all of you guys got to really know about this game, man. And that's why I loan my knowledge to you. And hopefully you can receive it. And make sure no matter what you do, you go over to our stories and you take the poll because we're putting up a poll. And I want you guys to really learn in depth what this game is truly about. And if you don't know, no matter what you do, just type the word school and learn exactly what comes in your future when you are in the sport of boxing. We didn't create that academy for no reason. We created it so you learn. So the school is all about being educated, not messing up, not slipping on a banana peel, because I said 3 reasons why fighters lose. And every time I put that video up, it does 1 million views. Number 1, incompetence in the corner. Skills or your team. Incompetence can't be a part of your team. And you must have all the skills. Check those boxes. Number 2, lifestyle. You can't be out here drinking. You need to be up on these pomegranates, these blueberries, and these grapes, making sure you're getting that beat in your body, those beats. Open up that body, those vessels, and let that blood pump up and get that energy. Don't be drinking alcohol. We're going to put up a video that's going to really break down what you need to do what you don't need to do and stay away from when it comes down to your nutrition. You are a machine. Be a Bentley, don't be a Toyota. This is boxing, don't play boxing. And number three, EQ. I don't care how your boxing IQ is. If your EQ isn't there or above it, you will lose. EQ is your emotional intelligence. That's why they always find a way to slip on a banana peel. And on Saturday night, Tank showed his EQ dropped a notch and he slipped on a banana peel and it almost cost him everything. But the reality is, it truly cost him the career that he was on the trajectory to accomplish and have, because the things that he did was basically showing his whole card with the level of incompetence. And I love Tank, but you can't make mistakes like that. And you have to do away with anybody that comes in front of you when you have the skill set that you have and the attributes that you have. So if you're finding yourself not going up and improving, you need to get in the right circle. That's all I got. Coach Bradley signing out. Be blessed at Godspeed. No matter what you do, subscribe and continue to follow us for more at Master Boxing across the board. Peace, guys.